Okay, friends, here we go. It's our weekly episode with Barbara. Today I'm in our printing company, Ola Ink, olaink.com. So one of the topics that I wanted to touch on, which is like my jam, this is when I get into great, powerful conversations with people because I'm so passionate, is about personal finances. Dun, dun, dun. This is a topic that not a lot of people like to talk about, but when people get into trouble, all of a sudden it pops up. So my husband and I, we met working on cruise ships, and when we first met, we were working on cruise ships for $1,500 a month, and working 7 days a week, 70 hours a week for 6 months straight. It was the most amazing experience for us, but we learned what it was like to live on a small salary and not have our expenses paid. So not have expenses. So when we moved to land, we came to Miami, and we had what they call a ship to shore assignment, where basically our expenses were paid and we kept our ship salary. But then I got offered a job. And Miami is a relatively expensive city to live in, and my husband is really, really good at finances, like really, really good. He could live on the simplest thing. I'm a little bit more extravagant. I like to get my nails done, but we complement each other. So one of the things that we ran into in our relationship was immediately we were butting heads about our finances. I wanted to go out to eat every single night. He never wanted to go out to eat. So we sat down, and one of like our religious things that we watched, I think it was Friday night or Sunday night, was Susie Orman. I think it was on CNBC. I don't remember, but one of her books is called Young, Broken, Fabulous. And we read this book 15 years ago, and I would recommend it to every single person. I'm sure some of the information in it is a little bit outdated now, but this is why Google exists, so please Google it, peeps. But Sebastian and I sat down and we established what our income was, because when he got off ships, he didn't have his work permit yet, and so we moved from a cruise ship cabin into a little studio apartment. We found this great place, and we saved every single penny that we had until we could move into a one-bedroom apartment. In the beginning, I mean, I think for the first, let me think, maybe 8 years of our marriage, we only had one car because I lived near the port. He would drop me off. He worked from home. So I think my point to all of this is that the most fundamental thing that you can start within your relationship, well, first you personally, and then within your relationship, is establishing what are your mutual financial goals. So Sebastian and I sat down and we essentially put together a budget that we were both in agreement on. So we said, we always have operated our money as if it's one unit. So if he wasn't working and I was bringing in an income, or I wasn't working and he was bringing in an income, it went into one bank account, and then everything came out of there. And then we have individual allocations for what our spending money is. So one of the platforms that we've used for a really long time is mint.com, and MINT, like the herb. Again, I'll put the link below. But Mint is a really, really great platform that we've used it for probably 12 or 13 years. And in the beginning, it was like this startup Silicon Valley, and every day at noon, the CEO would be available and you could call him at his desk. And then QuickBooks eventually bought them. And so in the beginning, it was, there wasn't ads or anything. Now there's a few ads on it. It's a free platform. And essentially what you do is you create your account, you put in all of your login information for your banks and your credit cards, and essentially Mint goes and pulls all that information and categorizes them. So for example, Publix is a grocery store that's down here in South Florida. If you use Publix, you're going to always use your credit card. I'm not a big debit card person. I'll explain to you why in a minute. But you're going to use your credit card, and then it's going to pull that transaction in, and it's going to automatically categorize it in one place. Yes, credit card companies and banks do those independently on their platform, but it doesn't give you a holistic view of your money. So the first step, if you have never managed your money before, is sign up for a platform like Mint and connect all of your accounts. Because I believe wholeheartedly that visibility equals accountability. First month, all you need to be doing is just signing up for the platforms and getting the charges to start coming in. Then at the end of 30 days, you're going to look at your accounts and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I spent that much money on dining out. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I spent that much money on coffees. This is the first come to Jesus moment that you're able to see exactly what you're spending your money on. I guarantee you, probably 100% of the people that I sit down and talk to about their finances, they have zero visibility to what they're spending their money on. They can tell you what their car payment is, they can tell you what this or that is, but they're not looking at it at a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And for many of you who have jobs, I would argue that you spend more time looking at your company's money than you do your own. If that is a true statement for you, we got a problem, people, okay? So really, 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 I encourage you to start with this very, very simple step of bringing all your bank accounts and your credit cards into one place. Now, let me talk to you about your debit cards and your credit cards. So we are big credit card people in that we use credit cards to our advantage. Credit cards give you cash back, they give you points. We're cashback people. There's a website that I refer people to, the Points Guy, and he basically analyzes all the different types of credit cards. I'm sure he makes money out of some of the ones that you sign up for, but he generally has a pretty neutral stance, and he tells you the facts of what the interest rates are, etc. But basically, you're getting credit cards that are going to give you cash back or points or something that's of value for you. And then you're paying your credit cards on automatic pay every single month. And as you start that behavior and as you repeat that behavior, the credit card companies give you more credit because they are banking on the fact that you are going to mess up. They're going, okay, let's give Barbara $500. You use that $500 on your light bill and your groceries and your gas. You pay it off every single month because you manage your money wisely. And then they go, okay, let's give her $1,000 and let's see if she can mess up there. And you continue the same pattern of behavior. Then all of a sudden, all these credit card companies start giving you more money, more credit, and your credit score is going up. The trick is don't mess up. Only spend what you actually can afford to pay back by the end of the month. You never, ever, ever, ever carry a balance into the next month, okay? So we are big credit card people because I use our cash back or our points for my gift budget. So I don't have a gift budget, but I know that every dollar that I spend, I get like between 1% and 2% back. And so I'm making money off of the credit card companies because I'm never paying a late fee. I'm never paying any finance charges. And they frankly don't want clients like me. They want clients like somebody who, oops, forgot their bill, didn't put on automatic pay, fly by the seat of their pants. But we won't be those people, will we? Mm-mm. You won't be that person. And the second is I don't use my debit card ever, 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 ever. I don't go to the ATM ever, 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 because I want everything in Mint. So when I go to the grocery store, if God forbid I forgot my credit card and I use my debit card, then I won't use cash because I want that transaction to be tracked through Mint. And the other reason is I do not like the idea of having my debit card out there in the realm of credit cards getting stolen, because I know when my debit card gets taken, it gets out in the world and it gets out on the internet and it gets used, that money comes out of my account and then I have to fight with the bank to get that money back. Whereas my credit card, if someone gets a hold of my credit card number and a charge goes on my credit card, I can contest that charge and I'll get refunded that money and then they'll go try and find who did it. So I think it's just a safer path, and I recommend credit cards just purely if you have the discipline to pay them off every month. So you're going to use Mint, you're going to steer away from your debit cards and cash, you're going to get credit cards, and if you don't have a credit card, what I would recommend that you do is that you start with a store credit card. So if you have issues with your credit, start with like a Macy's credit card. I don't even know if Macy's still exists. A Macy's credit card, a Gap credit card, an Old Navy. Those are the easiest credit cards to get. And they'll give you like maybe $100. And let's say that you're going to use that credit card for your gas every month. So you're using that, and people don't know this, okay? That you can get an Old Navy store credit card and you can use it for things other than things in Old Navy. They don't care. It's like, I think Old Navy is Synchrony Bank. Synchrony Bank doesn't care whether you spend money on that credit card in Old Navy or at the gas station. So you're going to use your Synchrony Bank card. And again, those cards have 19, 20, 30% interest, but that's irrelevant to you. The interest rate is irrelevant because you don't pay interest ever, because you pay off your credit cards on the end of every month. So you're going to get one of these store credit cards and you're going to use it for your gas. And even if you just have to do something as simple as logging in every single night or every Friday and paying off that credit card to start the habits, if you don't trust yourself, do it. But Synchrony, who gave you $100, eventually is going to give you $200, which is going to give you $300, it's going to give you $500. And then you're going to start getting mainstream credit cards offering you credit. And slowly over the course of a year, you're going to see your credit score go up, 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 because you're doing the behaviors that encourage your credit score to get better. You're doing behaviors like paying things off on time, like getting extended more credit, and then that gives you information for the banks to trust you. So let's go back. We're gonna read Susie Orman, and there's a lot of other books that are out there that are Susie Orman-esque. Dave Ramsey is really, really great. He talks about snowball debt, which is really good. If you have debt, he's definitely one to read. His daughter is Rachel Cruz. Follow her on Instagram. She's awesome. She has some really good budgeting and really tactical advice. I recommend signing up for a platform like mint.com because it's a huge, huge help just to start with visibility. And then your credit cards. Make sure that you are using your bank accounts or you're using your credit cards for any of the payments that you have to make and putting everything on auto pay. And then you're going in, and the next after that 30 days is you're going to start setting up budgets. So you're going to have visibility to how much money you're spending and on which categories. And then Mint will allow you to go in and set up budgets for every single type of activity. So let's say that, and for us, you know, let's say that we're spending $150 on gasoline in a month because I know I fill up about, you know, 5 times. No, I fill up about 4 times. It's about $35 every time. That then you get to watch a pattern of behavior, make sure that's true. And let's say that gas prices go down. So I set a budget for $120 a month for my gas. And then I see over the course of 2 months, hey, gas prices went down and I'm only spending $90. So I have a differential of $30 that I can use. So I'm going to use it to get my nails done once a month, or I'm going to use it to, you know, put some money into my spending account. So you're going to set up all of those budgets. Give yourself a range for your electricity, for your rent payments. It's pretty fixed. Any of your insurance payments. Make sure that you go through everything, and then over the course of 60, 90 days, you're going to start seeing expenses that maybe you didn't realize. And then it also gives you the option to set up expenses that maybe only happen over a twice a year, quarterly. So example would be is car insurance. We always prepay our car insurance. We use Progressive, and you get a huge discount if you prepay 6 months. And so that discount is worth more than the credit card points for me, but I also put it on the credit card so I get the points. But I prepay it, but I save that amount of money, the 80 bucks a month, whatever it is, 100 bucks a month. I save that every single month, so then when that balloon payment hits in 6 months, I have the money set aside for it. Because if not, things like that are going to surprise you, and then you lean on your credit cards and get into trouble. So this is kind of the baby steps to starting putting your personal finances into a place that you can grow wealth from. The most important thing is, first thing is that you're getting visibility and accountability to everything that you're doing. So start there, start understanding where the money is going every single month. And then in one of my next episodes, I will talk to you a little bit about some really cool cost-saving hacks, tricks that we have learned as a family that have helped us stretch our money further and further. Everything from driving your car until it has 100,000 miles to mystery shopping. so that we could go out to dinner. So stay tuned for the next one. In the meantime, grow rich, do well, work hard. I put on a suit for you today. Woo! It's Friday, Miami. Thanks for listening. Bye.